world.
Hey, Seattle, here are some storage tips to love food, stop waste. Onions make potatoes sprout faster. Keep onions away from potatoes. Ripe bananas give off a gas that makes the fruit around them ripen faster. Store bananas away from other fruits. 40% of food in the U.S. goes uneaten. Save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
Women are not an homogenous group.
We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more.
Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bri, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living. Broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
Atlantic Street Center has been serving the children, youth, and families of the Seattle-King County area since 1910. We partner with families and communities to raise healthy, successful children and youth through services including counseling, early learning, youth development, domestic violence, and education support for school-aged children. Committed to serving the African-American community, Atlantic Street Center provides services and support for all marginalized. Learn more at AtlanticStreetCenter.org.
You know you can't get enough of Rainier Avenue Radio.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Clean Greens Living, broadcasted here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your hostesses, Queen Bri and Christina Chambers. How are you, Christina, today? I can't hear you. Uh-oh. There we go. Say something.
Hello.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. I said,
"Hi, girl."
I'm really good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Oh man, I forgot to send Daniel the pictures of us at the this past Lee dinner. How in sync we all were. We attended CAGJ's. Huh?
I sent him one.
Oh, you sent him one? Oh, nice. CAGJ's SLE dinner. Clean Greens was there in support of their annual dinner. And we all showed up in green, and we didn't even plan that. We didn't make a phone call as a team. We just showed up, showed support, and we look cute, y'all.
I am always in the mindset for our events that I want to. Well, that's a lot of my dresses anyway. I like to wear stuff with plants on them. So.
Oh, nice! It had plants.
That was crazy. Yeah, it was flowers on it, but yeah, that was crazy. The all green. We were in sync.
We were definitely in sync. We want to bring you in with the land acknowledgement. We acknowledge that we are on the traditional land of the people of Seattle, the Coastal Salish past and present, and we honor with gratitude the land itself and the Duwamish, Noquamish, Nisqually, Snoqualmie, and Muckleshoot tribes. We also acknowledge what has happened on this land to impact the lives of our Black community in Seattle due to redlining. The systematic and oppressive mechanisms of anti-Blackness enacted by white leaders, politicians, business people that have robbed these families of passing on generational wealth. If you are one of these families that have lost your family home or been affected by systemic mechanism that stopped you from passing down generational wealth. Black Dollar Days Task Force wants to hear from you at www.blackdollardays.taskforce.org so you can share your story. They are working on ways to bring awareness to our community of all that has impacted our Black community on this land, and share your stories. Again, you can share your story. Let them know that you want to share your story at www.blackdollardays.taskforce.org. All right, coming up this week, we have a training by Seeds of Success, Race and Equity in Community Services. It will be at the Kent Panther Lake Library this Friday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. So if you guys are able to go and get some racial equity and community service training, please visit the Kent Panther Lake Library 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. this Friday. All right, guys, we've been talking about this. Save the date. Next week, we will have way more information. We got our speaker, so I'm so excited about our harvest dinner that is coming up just next month, November 18th, 6:30 p.m. at the Rainier Avenue Radio, Columbia City Theater. Please show up. Daniel has it up on the screen, November 18th, the annual harvest dinner. Support and donate at cleangreensfarmmarket.com. This is our annual fundraiser where we raise funds to continue on our mission. If you have been listening to us and you've been following us and you love what we do, please come up and support and just see the things that we did this year that maybe we didn't discuss on the show. Interact with the children that's been a part of this program, and interact with us. We also, so please come November 18th. All right. Clean Greens is looking for volunteers to help us with our Amy Yee and South Shore Gardens. If you are available, and these are our Seattle locations, if you are available, please connect with us at cleangreensfarmmarket.com and let us know. And Christina or Ashiana will reach out to you all and get you started. We are preparing for this winter, kind of like close down, but not really, because we want to plant a little bit of things to grow over the winter. So please.
I uncovered a raspberry bush today at South Shore. The parks came in, thankfully, and knocked down a bunch of those, invasive Himalayan blackberries. Mm-hmm. And underneath, being choked out, is a whole nother raspberry. But the huge blackberries we have there, there's a whole nother bush over there, just like getting no sunlight. But that's what invasive plants do, right?
Yeah. They may be good for us, but sometimes the invasiveness just kills the rest of the produce.
Yeah.
All right. So those are our announcements for today. And I am so excited to have on today. We have two show guests today from the Urban League Metropolitan Seattle. We want to welcome on Camille Gipaya and Nick Jeffries. They are both outreach organizers leading the environmental justice at the Urban League Metropolitan. Oh, they're not here. Okay. All right.
They are looking for the entrance. I'm going to go get them. Can you pause my...
Okay, well, in the meantime... It's just me. So let's talk about Harvest Dinner. So our annual Harvest Dinner is this year, and we just really want to just highlight the beauty and what has been going on in Clean Greens. Our youth have been, oh my gosh, Daniel, do you just happen, or can you, I know you do this a lot, but can you show the picture of the kids at the pumpkins? This year, we grew pumpkins at Amy Yee. But a lot of, it's in an area of a lot of traffic. So people came and they helped themselves to a which, okay, it's a community garden. That's fine. So the youth this year, they harvested the rest of the pumpkins this year. And it was so exciting. They wanted to make sure they have pumpkins to decorate, carve out, and use for Halloween decoration. So it was so exciting to see them do that. And we just want to highlight them and talk about the work that they did, what they've learned. we also just really want to join the community and help and educate us more on not just clean greens, but things about how food affects our life and how social economics affects our community. So we are going to really be just honing in and talking about that and eating fresh produce from our garden, prayerfully if the weather permits. So yeah, you guys, please come in and join us. Again, it'll be at the Columbia City Theater, 6:30 p.m. We'll have music, we'll have food, we'll have community, and I'm just so excited to talk about that. Also, just hyping up this volunteer with our garden. The garden is so beautiful, and we have so many plans that we want to do with it, but we just want to make sure that we have enough support. We appreciate those who have come out before and helped us at our garden, and we're just looking to build on that. So if you are listening and you have helped out, please come back. And if you are someone new who wants to help out, please, we need help keeping the garden watered. We need help weeding. We need help planting. We may be expanding the garden a little further out. So we'll definitely need help building more beds and just really building this out for our community. Everything we do in Clean Greens is centered around community and making sure that we have the right access to produce and that we are eating foods that not just produce, but foods that are healing to our souls. So we're looking, we started the process of getting ready to plan our urban bank, our urban, not urban, herb, herb garden to where we can make teas and we have produce out there, plants out at the farm that grows that helps with body aches and having nutrition people come out and having herbalists come in and just really educate us on ways that we can take care of our bodies. So we're just so excited to have all of this going on in Clean Greens, and we're going to talk about this at our harvest dinner. If you're just tuning in, you're tuning in live to Clean Greens Living, broadcasting here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. I am your host, Queen Bri. Our other host, Christina, excuse me, is off getting our guest will be here soon, which are guests from the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle. So excited to hear from them and the things that they're doing. Again, this Saturday, Seeds of Success is having a racial equity training at their local Kent library. Sorry, it's the change up. It's like this weather can't make up its mind, and my body is starting to feel it. But yeah, so please stay tuned, join us, and let us know. How are we doing with our guests behind the scenes? Right, our guests are not here. So let me just take a time to just have a community moment where we make sure that we are taking our time to rest, taking our times to honor our body and our spirits and what is making us feel good and not stressing us out. And making sure that you're out in nature and walking. I mean, even though, look, I'm looking outside, the weather isn't that what we would think is that great. It's still good weather to get out and walk around and just get ready with get back into the earth. Get back into the earth. Go for a walk. Yeah. So please make sure that you're staying connected with your mind, body, and spirit. And if you're struggling with isolation or you're struggling, making sure that you're connected with a therapist, counselor, to help you and guide you. All right. Hi, guys. Our guest is here. I was about to say Christine. I was getting ready to say Camille is Christina Chambers, but it's Camille. So Camille Capaya and Nick Jeffries. Did I said your name right?
Yes.
Nice. Oh my God, Camille, I love your hat and I love your hair. It's giving me I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
We're doing great. Yeah. Glad that not raining as much today. So
oh goodness, yeah, the rain break. Was it not it?
Yeah, it was pouring down. Was that Friday where it was just like really, really, really coming down? I was like, goodness gracious. All right, guys. So Camilla and Nick are from, like I said, the Urban League Metropolitan. They are leading the environmental justice work at the Urban League. And we just connected, and I thought that it would be good for you all to come on the show and just talk about the work that you're doing with Urban League. So if you guys can just tell us a little bit about yourselves and the work that you do.
Yeah, I could start. My name is Camille Gipaya, and I am leading the environmental justice work. I am a community outreach organizer with the Urban League of Metropolitan Seattle in the advocacy and community engagement department. And the biggest thing that we have for EJ is that social justice and environmental justice are interconnected, and that we hold Farm Day to really acknowledge the history of environmental justice that are Black-led. So knowing Robert Bullard has kind of made that like studies with how different pollution and toxic facilities are intentionally being placed in marginalized communities. And so with Farm Day, we really are making a statement that nature is not whiteness. And so it's a space for Black and Brown people that have led the environmental justice movement to really have a space and be connected with the land, knowing that we have that connection. I know it's kind of a cliche as it is, but land is kind of life. And so, yeah, I also want to pass it to Nick.
Yeah, kind of everything Camille said. We really want to bring to the table that like nature belongs to Black and Brown folks too. You know, the lands that we've stewarded, the lands that we've created, the spaces that we've made, the movements that we've led, especially movements led by Black women, have really been amazing towards really healing Earth, nurturing communities, making sure communities have access to thrive, access to a clean environment. And that's what we really do with Farm Day. Because Farm Day is probably one of the coolest things I've seen since starting to work at the Urban League, where we bring community together, we have some fun, we have some art, we have some giveaways, and then we also talk about some really complex portions of advocacy being like environmental justice. Also, we do other programs outside of Farm Day where we do like community conversations, we do other programs with people, and yeah.
I love how you guys say that you guys' push is that nature is not just for white people, it's for all of us. Those are some of the things that we talk about because we try to get people out to our farm in Duval. And it's always this connection of farm and slavery. And it's like slavery, yes, it perverted what our farming meant for our people. But farming started, I don't want to say started, but farming was our heritage. That's why they brought slaves over here so that they can take care of the farmland and make sure things are getting produced. So I like that push where you talk about being in nature is not just for white people, it's for all of us. And like you said, it sounds like a cliche, but it is a healing. It is something that gets you connected back to the earth and back to your body. And you guys have a Farm Day coming up not this weekend, but next Saturday. They have a Farm Day. I love the flyers, by the way. It's so beautiful. A Farm Day, October 28th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Yes Farm on 715 Yesler Way. If you guys are heading down going, I think it's west on Yesler, it's off to the left right before you get downtown Seattle. And so you guys please join the Farm Days. Is this the last Farm Day, or are you guys going to continue Farm Days throughout the season?
Yeah, so this is our third and last Farm Day. We do this yearly, starting September, and then we had one at Yes Farm also previously, but we're really highlighting different, just the urban gardens and the existing movement that's happening locally. Because oftentimes you see on the media, like this is happening overseas in Sweden or over in Asia, or knowing that there is a movement that's happening here and that they could be a part of it. So we work alongside Nurturing Roots, Black Farmers Collective, and that's why we have the space at Yes Farm, City Soil, Front and Centered. And so this is yearly, and so we have 3 farm days every year. And so stay tuned, follow up with kind of our social media and our calendar at the Urban League. But this is really a space to make sure people have not only the healing component, but one thing that we want to provide people is the advocacy component to it. I know when it comes to legislative language, there's a barrier. And so we want to provide that language people to really empower them, that they have a voice and they could take up space. And so this is just a start. Farm Day ideally is to culture that voice, and hoping that people could take that beyond Farm Day.
And then you're connected with, you connect with food banks and help provide on-site support. Can you tell us more about that?
So knowing that, so we've connected with White Center Food Bank and Rainier Valley Food Bank, and we're also working with City Soil, who is providing food to White Center Food Bank. And it was kind of interesting to see how they were specifically cultivating different produce for the community that they had. So okra, chives, Thai basil. And so that was for the Vietnamese and the Asian community that were served, that the White Center Food Bank was serving. And so it is really essential that we have that connection with White Center Food Bank, since a part of our work is food justice and food access, acknowledging that in South Seattle and in King County, we have food deserts that are happening. So no access to healthy food, and that should be a right for people. We're living in a midst where waste is happening. We're a system of wasteful food is existing, and when people are hungry, so that contradiction really is kind of surprising that it exists. So creating that network, not just with the food banks, but with farmers like Clean Greens Farm and Market, with and then that holistic approach of like from farm to plate. So that's another kind of conversation that we have. Once we do get that like produce, what do we do with that? Since that knowledge has kind of been purposely erased. What food to sustain our bodies. And so that's also a conversation that we have in our farm days.
Nice. And I'm glad that we talked about food banks real quick. Can I just say a little quick public service announcement that I learned on, look, I learned this on Facebook, y'all. When you're donating to these food banks, make sure that you're donating food that they can actually they appreciate it, but like food that is easy accessible. Like when we're donating our cans, if we're going to donate cans that need a can opener, maybe try going to the Dollar Tree and grabbing a can opener and donating that can opener with the can so that people can eat the food. I just wanted to say that out loud because that just made me think about those things. And when we talk about access, I never even thought to bring that to the attention of people, that when we donate food like that, how are they going to eat it if they don't have a can opener? But
I didn't think about that either. Can I break in before I forget what my comment is? Because Camille, you mentioned a name that I haven't heard before, but before I ask you about him, I just wanted to comment about the accessibility. And like when we were coming in and I said, oh, I didn't know that Urban League had this department, but we're in the same community. And so I just want to say, like, working like on Tuesdays, I work at our South Shore location, and it's at the garden where we teach K first and second graders gardening. And I always get kids that come around and ask me questions, usually the same kids. And one kid was like, is that corn? I didn't know we could grow. Why are we growing corn at our school? I didn't know we could grow corn. So it's like they're getting the exposure. They're seeing people that look like them in their community doing the work, growing food. And I just want to say thank you for your work. Who is the father of, I just looked him up.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, the father of environmental justice. So it's Robert Bullard. Um, he kind of initiated the studies because oftentimes with movement, the big thing that people mention is that it lacks that scientific studies. And so Robert Bullard definitely had the receipts. That's what it is. It was receipts acknowledging that the Black communities were being disproportionately affected of where the toxic facilities were being put in. So where garbage dumping was happening was in Black communities, and that led to environmental health disparities that we're seeing. And so it gave kind of the proof that it was happening, even though the communities already knew it. So that was kind of needed in the advocacy component to make sure that we do act on it. So the environmental health disparities that we're seeing is just like that's generational.
Absolutely. You spoke about dumping garbage, and my family is from Africatown in Alabama, and there was a paper mill. There was a dump. On some days the paper mill was operating, because I read the book that talks about it. Ashes would come down and cover cars and people, and they try to keep their cars clean, of course. But and they have to know that. I mean, it's like I don't want to say a cancer alley because I don't know if it's been proven that, but there's cancers. Like people. My grandfather worked at the mill and he died on lunch break at 40 something. And that's not natural for a man to die at 40 at work. You know what I mean? There are absolutely generational health disparities from environmental injustice.
You're definitely seeing that in Seattle right here. Looking at Superfund sites where our railroads being placed. You can see that it was purposely put in the like Native American lands where river is meant to, it was a source of life. And so that was purposely kind of destroyed by locating where toxic facilities are right now. And then you're seeing how people are affected with respiratory issues. And that's what you were talking about also with your family. And so it's not just happening in other states.
And you mentioned the railroad, and we have to think back, like, when did all this start? And I mean, I'm not like a history major or anything, but bringing in the railroad, building the railroad changed the landscape of the country, and they absolutely knew where they were taking land and putting railroads, and where all this industrial, stuff would start happening. Exactly, they didn't put it in their neighborhood.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt, and you guys don't went into a whole nother subject that we have to have a whole nother conversation about, because when we talk about how they build things in neighborhoods to stop Black people from thriving in their health, please, I want you guys to come back on so we can continue this conversation, but our time is up. And we thank you guys for coming on to just talk about what you're doing and the work that you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing in our community. Please join their Farm Day at Yes Farm next Saturday at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and follow the Metropolitan Urban League to stay connected and stay updated with everything that they have going on. I hope to have you guys back for part 2, talking about what the railroads and the freeways and all that they build in other communities. Thanks for joining. Up next is Phil M. Bye.